they're independent, they're ruling the world, and whatever their parents say is just not good enough. Teenagers that come to see me, they say, I just want my mum and dad to listen. I want them to find out what my day was like for me. Have that 5 minute. When they're having the 5 minutes, they're busy doing something else. Have that time when you're just sitting down with your child and having a conversation. Parents' lives are so busy. They're busy working. But the most important thing is, how much time am I giving to my teenagers? They value that.
All of my friends are until 12, 1 o'clock.
I don't care what time your friends come in. I'm talking about you, and you're coming at 11:30.
Teenagers can't help the way that they behave, whether it's being aggressive or quite angry or arrogant. It's because this is just a natural thing they're going through. They have no control. They can't just switch off the button.
Start to talk more like equals than parent-child.
Sometimes you may feel that your children or teenagers are hanging out with friends that you probably don't like. The key thing is not to ostracize your children's friends, because their friends mean a lot to them. If you see that your child has mood fluctuations, is hiding food, is going off secretly after eating food to the toilet and so forth, has diuretics in their room or laxatives, these are some warning signs. So really take the time with your child, get a sense of what's going on. If it's gone to the point where it's actually quite serious, then seek professional help and then take it from there.
We see a lot of self-harming amongst teenage girls.
Believe it or not, teenagers pick up what we're going through as parents and they sort of implement it into their own lives. And it's okay to sit down with your child and say you're going through a difficult time. You're a human being at the end of the day. So the best possible thing is to just make sure that the environment is safe and contained for your child.
We see a lot of self-harming amongst teenage girls.
Believe it or not, teenagers pick up what we're going through as parents and they sort of implement it into their own lives. And it's okay to sit down with your child and say you're going through a difficult time. You're a human being at the end of the day. So the best possible thing is to just make sure that the environment is safe and contained for your child.
Yes, you won't get your GCSE.
Teenagers go through so many biological changes which can impact on their process of studying. So you can imagine what's going on for them, and then they're told you've got to go and study. Also, you've got to bear in mind that they are facing so many exams. Now, when you're embarking on doing something and you're being tested, this creates stress. So having to juggle this can be a very difficult time for a teenager.
Well, when do you do it in the week?
There may be a period when there might be difficulties between a parent and a teenager, particularly so when they're taking their GCSEs. On the one hand, the teenager feels, I want to do this, and on the other hand, the parents may feel, no, this is what's best for you, this suits your personality. Now, it's a very difficult time, and it's an important time to negotiate. In my practice, I've had teenagers who've told me startling things, doing it in the back of the schoolyard or meeting round the corner of an alleyway. Teenagers are engaging in sexual activities, and as parents, we need to be aware of this. The worst thing you can do is say, stop. What you need to do is to educate your child. So you may say, do you know about contraception? Do you know about the risk of having sex? Educate them in that way rather than you are not allowed to do it, because they're going to do it. They did it anyway, which is why you're having this conversation now. It's in our face and we have to deal with it. But the most important thing is for parents to make sure their child is safe, to talk to them so that they can understand about why they're engaging in this sexual activity. Despite all the pressures that teenagers face in relation to having sex, as a parent, you need to instill confidence in your child that they can say no. Just because everyone in their peer group is having sex doesn't mean they have to have sex. Let your child realize, are they ready? Are they sexually aware about the whole process of sex? The reality is that your teenager may go to the pub, have a drink one too many. It's the excessive drinking that's a problem.
Their peer group, they want to be like them, they want to belong.
Positive peer pressure is when your child is involved in a group where they're striving, they're bettering themselves to the best of their ability. These type of teenagers have a good self-esteem. Whereas on the other hand, you have negative peer pressure. So people form in groups because they've got a need to feel loved, a need to feel cared. So all of a sudden they've created this negative family where they've got something in common and they're engaging in problematic behaviours such as drug taking. Teenagers get very bad press, but I think teenage years is a time when they're vibrant, a time when they're expressing themselves, a time when they're getting a sense of their identity, they're exploring, they're experimenting. Now if they're contained in a loving, warm and caring environment, they will grow into adults who are confident and who are ready to rule the world.